Have you ever felt trapped by your own thoughts, as if your mind is a never-ending whirlpool? What if you could break free from the constant noise and find true peace? Just like the monks who've mastered their minds, you too can learn how to control your thoughts and gain control over your life. In today's video, we'll dive into the teachings of Gautama Buddha and discover practical steps to quiet the chaos within. Ready to take charge of your mind? Let's begin. Understanding the nature of the mind. The mind is often compared to a restless monkey, jumping from thought to thought, driven by desires, fears, and distractions. This chaotic nature is something Gautama Buddha deeply understood. He taught that the mind, in its natural state, is easily swayed by external influences and constantly seeks pleasure while avoiding discomfort. This creates mental turbulence and anxiety. To control your thoughts, the first step is to recognize this inherent restlessness. Buddha emphasized that you are not your thoughts. They are fleeting, ever-changing, and do not define who you are. The key is to observe your thoughts without becoming attached to them. When we engage with every thought that arises, we fuel it, allowing it to control us. However, when we observe thoughts with a detached awareness, we begin to see them for what they truly are. Transient events that come and go like clouds in the sky. Mindfulness is a powerful tool here. By practicing mindful awareness, you can learn to watch your thoughts without reacting to them. This allows you to create a space between stimulus and reaction, where you can choose how to respond instead of being swept away by your mind's turbulence. With consistent practice, you'll start to understand the nature of your mind, its habits, tendencies, and patterns, giving you the power to control your thoughts instead of letting them control you. Practicing mindfulness in every moment. Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to mental clarity and peace. Mindfulness is not just a practice you do during meditation, it's a way of living. It's the art of being fully present in each moment, free from distractions or judgments. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly pulled between past regrets and future anxieties. Mindfulness teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present, breaking free from the cycle of mental chaos. To control your thoughts like a monk, you must begin by cultivating mindfulness in simple, everyday moments. Start with your breath. Take a few deep breaths, paying attention to the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. As thoughts arise, gently let them pass, like leaves floating down a stream, and bring your focus back to your breath. This practice can be extended to all aspects of life, while eating, walking, or even when engaging in conversations. When you truly listen to others without thinking about your response, you create space for clarity and understanding. You are not reacting to your thoughts or impulses, you are simply present. Over time, this practice trains the mind to be more focused, less distracted, and more aware of the present moment. As you embrace mindfulness, you'll notice a shift in your thoughts, less noise, more peace, and a deeper connection to the world around you. This is the first step in gaining control over your thoughts and finding mental freedom. Letting go of attachment to thoughts. Buddha's teachings emphasize that attachment is the root of suffering, and this extends to our thoughts. We often find ourselves clinging to certain thoughts, whether they're related to past experiences, fears about the future, or desires that fuel our ego. When we become attached to these thoughts, we give them power over us. They dictate our emotions, actions, and even our sense of self. To control your thoughts like a monk, you must practice the art of letting go. This means not allowing yourself to be consumed by any one thought or emotion. When a thought arises, whether positive or negative, acknowledge it, but don't hold on to it. Let it pass through your mind like a cloud drifting across the sky. Buddha taught that everything in life is impermanent, including our thoughts. When we let go of our attachment to them, we free ourselves from the mental suffering they create. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring thoughts. Rather, it's about recognizing that they are not permanent and that they do not define who we are. By practicing detachment, you begin to break free from the emotional reactions that thoughts often trigger. You learn to observe your thoughts without judgment, without trying to control them. and without allowing them to shape your reality. In this way, you regain the power to choose which thoughts you nurture and which you let go, allowing your mind to become a peaceful and balanced space. Observing without judgment. One of the core teachings of Buddha is the practice of observing without judgment. Our minds are quick to categorize and label thoughts, labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. This judgmental approach often reinforces attachment and emotional responses, trapping us in a cycle of mental turmoil. However, true control over your thoughts comes from observing them without attaching labels or judgments. Buddha encouraged mindfulness with equanimity, a balanced mind that neither rejects nor clings to any thought. When you practice this, you begin to see your thoughts more clearly. Instead of labeling them, you acknowledge their presence and allow them to pass naturally, like waves in the ocean. This practice is not about controlling thoughts, but about letting them arise and fade without getting swept up in them. Imagine a cloud drifting across the sky. We don't judge it or try to hold on to it, we simply watch it, understanding that it will move on. This same approach can be applied to your thoughts. By observing them without judgment, you no longer allow them to dictate your emotions or actions. You are no longer defined by your thoughts, but remain the observer, the peaceful witness to whatever arises in your mind. As you cultivate this practice, you'll find that your mind becomes more at peace, free from the pressure of constantly evaluating or reacting to every thought that comes up. This simple shift in perspective can bring immense clarity and tranquility. The power of meditation. Meditation is at the heart of Buddhist practice and is a powerful tool for controlling your thoughts. Buddha taught that through meditation, we can train our minds to become more focused, disciplined, and peaceful. In today's world, our minds are constantly bombarded with distractions, work, social media, worries about the future. But meditation offers us a space to step away from the noise and reconnect with our inner stillness. To control your thoughts like a monk, meditation is essential. Start with simple practices such as focusing on your breath. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and bring your awareness to the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your focus to your breath. This process strengthens the mind's ability to focus and cultivates a sense of inner calm. Meditation also allows us to observe the patterns of our thoughts. What tends to trigger anxiety, what brings us joy, what thoughts we hold on to, and which we let go of. Over time, meditation teaches us to disengage from the automatic, habitual thoughts that often drive our behavior and emotions. By practicing meditation regularly, you create space between your thoughts and reactions. This space is where control lies. It's where you can choose how to respond to life, rather than being swept away by the endless stream of thoughts. Through consistent practice, meditation becomes a powerful tool for mastering your mind and creating a deep sense of peace and clarity. Cultivating compassion and loving kindness. Buddha's teachings emphasize that cultivating compassion and loving kindness is essential to mastering the mind. When we practice compassion not only towards others, but also towards ourselves, we begin to shift our mental focus from negativity and self-criticism to acceptance and understanding. Thoughts of anger, resentment, and fear often arise when we feel disconnected from others or overwhelmed by the world. By nurturing compassion, we transform these thoughts into ones of empathy, connection, and peace. To control your thoughts like a monk, begin by practicing loving-kindness meditation. This practice involves silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be safe, may I live with ease," and then extending these wishes to others, friends, strangers, and even those with whom you may have conflicts. This simple practice fosters a mental shift that promotes positive thoughts and emotional healing. When you embrace compassion, your thoughts naturally begin to reflect a more loving perspective. Instead of holding on to grudges or judgments, you learn to let them go and replace them with forgiveness and understanding. The more you cultivate compassion, the more your mind becomes a peaceful space, free from the clutter of negative emotions. This practice also helps quiet the ego, which often drives unhealthy thought patterns. By prioritizing the well-being of others and extending love without expectations, you create a space where your thoughts are not driven by selfish desires or fears, but by kindness and generosity. This shift leads to greater mental clarity and emotional resilience. Understanding impermanence. One of Buddha's most profound teachings is the concept of impermanence, or anicca. Everything in life is transient: our thoughts, emotions, and even our physical bodies. Recognizing the impermanent nature of all things can radically change how we relate to our thoughts. So often, we get attached to thoughts, believing they define us or that they will last forever. This attachment creates suffering. However, when we understand that everything, including our thoughts, is temporary, we gain the ability to let go. To control your thoughts like a monk, begin by reflecting on the impermanence of all mental states. Thoughts that seem overwhelming or troubling will eventually pass, just as joyous or pleasant thoughts will also fade. By embracing this understanding, you stop clinging to any particular thought or emotional state. Instead, you begin to see them as passing moments that come and go, like waves in the ocean. This realization helps you detach from negative or overwhelming thoughts, knowing they are not permanent and do not define your true nature. When you hold the understanding of impermanence close, it becomes easier to observe your thoughts with less attachment. You stop reacting to every fleeting thought or emotion and begin to experience greater mental freedom. The key is to allow thoughts to arise and pass without holding on to them. In doing so, you allow your mind to become less cluttered and more at peace, living in harmony with the natural flow of life's transience. Mastering your thoughts like a monk is a journey of mindfulness, detachment, and compassion. By embracing Buddha's teachings on impermanence, meditation, and loving kindness, you can find true peace within the chaos of modern life. Remember, the power to control your mind lies not in resisting your thoughts, but in observing them with awareness and understanding. If this video helped you, subscribe to MonkMindset for more insights on living a peaceful, mindful life.